Hello everyone, and welcome back to Good Morning KU Sports. We have an amazing show for you today with Super Bowl Sunday on the brink and an eventful week for KU athletics. With an action-packed season coming to a close, we will get a look at the top 5 moments of the NFL season ahead of Super Bowl Sunday. Prescott will have more insight later on how Brock Purdy went from Mr. Irrelevant to competing in the Super Bowl in just 2 seasons. After a crucial win against Houston on Saturday, the KU men's basketball team fell short in Manhattan at the annual Sunflower Showdown. Cole will have more on the recent Jayhawk loss. After that, Emily will be taking a closer look at why KU basketball struggles in away games. Finally, we will head over to Sam for the breakdown of the upcoming weather for this exciting sports weekend. Every time I hear that intro, I know I'm in for a good show. So let's head over to Ryan to see his top 5 moments of the NFL season.
In Las Vegas, let's take a look at 5 of the best moments, games, or plays that define what was this past NFL season. First off, let's start with number 5, the Miami Dolphins hanging a 70 spot on the Denver Broncos in Week 3. The Miami Dolphins were the first team in the NFL to score 70 points in a game since 1966. It was just a completely dominant performance by the Dolphins offense, with Tua Tagovailoa, Devon Achane, and Tyreek Hill leading the charge. Even though this game didn't have major implications on the landscape of the season, it was still an historic effort from the Miami offense that should be recognized. At number 4, we have Xavier Gipson's game-winning punt return to give the Jets an emotional victory over the divisional counterparts in wake of Aaron Rodgers' season-ending Achilles injury. It was a game that Jet fans have been looking forward to all offseason, with their new superstar quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, making his debut at MetLife Stadium. That quickly went south as Rodgers ruptured his left Achilles tendon on the first offensive series of the season. However, it would still end up being a memorable night in the Meadowlands, as undrafted rookie Xavier Gipson would become a hero, giving the Jets a victory over the Bills with a 65-yard punt return in overtime in his first ever NFL game. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions notching their first playoff win in 32 years. The Lions defeated the Rams and former Lion quarterback Matthew Stafford 24-23 at home. This is a super cool moment for the NFL and the city of Detroit, who hadn't had much success until very recently. Guys like Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, and Aiden Hutchinson have completely changed the culture in Detroit these past couple years, and it's been really fun to watch. You can't tell a story of the 2023 NFL season without the emergence of Texans rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud becoming an absolute superstar. This was solidified as Stroud won the 2023 NFL Rookie of the Year and led the Texans to a playoff victory. The signature game for Stroud came in Week 9 against the Buccaneers, where he would set a rookie record with 470 passing yards and 5 touchdowns, including a game winner to Tank Dell to complete the comeback with 6 seconds left. Stroud was so fun to watch this season, a very bright future for the Texans quarterback. And at number 1, we have Brandon Ayuk's ricochet catch in the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy would launch a deep pass that probably should have been picked, but would ricochet off the Lions defender right into the hands of Ayuk at the 5-yard line. Not only was this play massive because the Super Bowl trip was on the line, but also because it was a game-changing catch, with the 49ers reeling and down 24-10 late in the third quarter. If this pass had been picked off, the Lions could have been the team making the trip to Vegas with a chance to win the Super Bowl, instead of the 49ers completing the second half comeback. And with that, those are the top 5 moments, games, and plays that define the 2023 NFL season. I hope everyone enjoys the game on Sunday.
Thanks, Ryan. I can't believe another NFL season is coming to an end, and we're seeing the same Super Bowl matchup as 2020. I'm already excited to see what the next season will bring us. But for now, we will continue our Super Bowl mania as Prescott gives us a breakdown on Brock Purdy's first ever Super Bowl appearance.
Thanks, Isabel. This Sunday, the San Francisco 49ers will confront the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch of what unfolded 4 years ago. Both organizations underwent changes to their roster and enter this grudge match with differing personnel. The Chiefs lost an explosive trailblazer in Tyreek Hill, yet still possess a solid foundation of playmakers to petrify opposing defenses. The 49ers lost former starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, but have gained a new play caller under center, Brock Purdy. He was the last pick in the draft, and people have donned him the nickname Mr. Irrelevant, yet he's positioned his team with an opportunity at vengeance and redemption. In 2022, Brock Purdy entered the NFL as a third-string quarterback to veteran Jimmy Garoppolo and 2021's number 3 overall pick, Trey Lance. At the start of the season, he was viewed as an afterthought, but after injuries derailed Garoppolo's and Lance's seasons, the Iowa State alumni received his chance to showcase his abilities. It didn't take long for the rookie to stake his claim as a legitimate starter for San Francisco. A 35-7 Week 14 victory against Tom Brady's Buccaneers began his ascent from bench warmer to leader, and his improvement continued into the 2022 playoffs. Even though his playoff run ended in an agonizing UCL tear and a 31-7 drubbing in the NFC Championship to the Super Bowl runner-up Eagles, Purdy was primed to take over the helm of quarterback duties in, in 2023. He exceeded expectations, leading the 49ers to a 12-5 record and a number 1 seed. Purdy proved he can shine when it counted in the divisional and championship rounds of this year's playoffs. He brought his team back to defeat the Green Bay Packers after trailing by 7 and prevailed in an electrifying comeback by erasing a 17-point deficit against the Detroit Lions. Despite all the monikers, criticism, and doubt, Purdy has changed the narrative around his skill set and talent. He's been unfazed by the continuing disbelief and accepts his Mr. Irrelevant title. He'll be pitted against a player who's earned 2 MVPs and 2 Super Bowl rings, adding to a growing list of reasons people think he'll fail to meet the upcoming challenge. Mr. Irrelevant will look to become Mr. Right as the 49ers attempt to purge their Super Bowl demons, while Mahomes and the Chiefs strive to repeat as NFL champions and claim their 3rd Lombardi trophy in the past 6 years.
Thanks, Prescott. It's crazy to see what Purdy has done in such a short time. He has to have some nerves ahead of playing his first ever Super Bowl game against Mahomes. I can't wait to see what the outcome will be. After a quick break, we will head over to Luke as he hosts another Good Morning KU Sports Super Bowl Trivia Show.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Luke, here with William and Owen for a little Super Bowl trivia before the big game on Sunday. How are you guys feeling about the Super Bowl?
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to a good game and some good food. How about you, Will?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to some good food. My brothers and I are going to get some Domino's and we're going to have a good time.
Me as well. I know it's going to be a crazy game that I'm really excited for. Let's get started with some questions to test what you guys know. As we all know, the Super Bowl matchup this Sunday is between the Chiefs and the 49ers, and this is actually a rematch of the 2020 championship. What was the final score of that game? Is it either A, 20-17, B, 24-17, C, 31-20, or D, 42-35?
I believe the final score ended up being 31-20 because if I remember right, it was tied up late, and then Damian Williams had that touchdown late in the game that sealed it for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's C, 31-20.
That would be correct. The Chiefs were down early in that game, but then they rallied and came back with the W. All right, second question. How much does the Super Bowl MVP get paid to say, "I'm going to Disney World" after the game?
That's a good
Is
question.
it A, $20,000, B, $40,000, C, $100,000, or D, $75,000?
I'm going to guess $100,000 because that's like a nice even number, and that makes my brain happy.
I don't think they get that much. I'm going to say $40,000.
Well, it looks like you guys both got that one wrong. Unfortunately,
Oh,
it is
man.
$75,000. But yeah, it's a lot of money still just for saying a simple one-sentence line. Anyways, question 3. During the Chiefs-Ravens game, Travis Kelce broke the all-time playoff reception record, making his total 156 after the game. Who held this record before him? Was it A, Jerry Rice, B, Julian Edelman, C, Tyreek Hill, or D, Kadarius Toney?
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure this one was Kadarius Toney. No. It's a close one between Jerry Rice and Julian Edelman. I believe it was Jerry Rice. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Jerry Rice.
You guys would be correct with that. He recently just passed him. All right, number 4, if the Chiefs were to win this weekend, how many Lombardi trophies would they have as a franchise? Is it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5?
I believe the answer is going to be 4.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3.
The answer is actually 4 if they win this weekend. So, yeah, hopefully they do, and then add to that collection. Number 5, Patrick Mahomes has 2 dogs. One is a pit bull, and the other is a cane corso. What are their names? Is it A, silver and gold, B, steel and silver, C, Linus and Lucy, or D, Brady and Manning?
Oh man, I have no clue. I'm not a Chiefs fan, so this isn't really part of my repertoire of knowledge. So
It's not part of mine either.
yeah, I'm gonna go with B, steel and silver, because I'm not really sure.
I'm going to go silver and gold. Those seem like good dog names.
Well, the correct answer is actually B, steel and silver.
All right.
And with that, it looks like Owen is our winner for this week's trivia.
Continuing my undefeated streak.
Right, and that's all the trivia I have for you guys today. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Good Morning KU Sports Trivia. We'll now take it to a break, and then Eli and Katie will be back for Pick'em with Greenwald.
Walking alone in a college town can be dangerous, no matter the time of day. Lawrence might seem like a small town, but there is still tons of crime that happens. You never know where and or when people are planning to attack, so it is better to be safe than sorry. Being by yourself is never the answer. That's why people should always walk within a buddy system. Having at least 3 people to walk with can help with getting home safer. Going out in a bigger group is definitely the way to go, so everyone can be assured they are safe. If walking home isn't an option, calling KU Safe Ride is the next best option, or ordering an Uber with your friends. Stay safe and always keep a buddy with you.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pick with Greenwald. I'm Eli Greenwald, and with me today is Katie Acosta. And today is the pick that the whole football season has led up to, Super Bowl 57. So without further ado, let's get into our picks for the game.
Thanks, Eli. I'm Katie, and I could not be more pumped to appear on Pick'em for the first time. Living right here in the heart of Chiefs Kingdom, I'm going to go with Kansas City. First and foremost, the 49ers have a super dynamic offense with weapons like Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and of course, who could forget Christian McCaffrey? But the Chiefs have the defense to match up. With guys like Algerius Sneed and Trent McDuffie in the secondary and Chris Jones up front, I really think the Chiefs defense can hold down the 49ers offense. Secondly, the Chiefs have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and there is no way I am picking against them. Andy Reid, obviously 3 Super Bowls in his career, one of the best coaches in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes, who already has the 3rd most career playoff victories. I'm going to roll with the Chiefs because I believe the defense can force the 49ers into a bunch of turnovers like we've seen this entire postseason, and I'm counting on the Chiefs offense to get going and score touchdowns in the red zone. Eli, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to go with San Francisco, the NFC champs. I'm going to go with the Niners. Reluctantly doing so. I am reluctantly picking against Patrick Mahomes. I don't love the fact that I am because, again, it's really difficult to pick against Mahomes in the playoffs, but that's what I'm doing. I just think that the 49ers are the best defense in the NFL and the best rushing attack. And I saw a stat that said if you rush for over 100 yards in a game, that gives you a 76% chance to win. And this season, the Chiefs have rushed for 131 yards average per game. In my opinion, they have the best running back in the NFL, and Christian McCaffrey. He's healthy. He's ready to go. He was great against Green Bay. He was really good last week against Detroit, scoring 2 touchdowns. I think that this week, with an injured Chiefs front 7, Charles Omenihu was out. I expect that the ground game for San Francisco is going to be too much for Kansas City. And on top of that, The Niners front seven defensively, in my opinion, is one of the best in the NFL, led by Nick Bosa and Chase Young, both pass rush and against the run. And against Isaiah Pacheco, I think that the Chiefs are going to give enough pressure to Mahomes where it's going to force them to run the ball, and I don't see Pacheco getting enough to get it done on the ground, enough to win. Like I said, I'm reluctant to pick San Francisco and against Mahomes, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going with San Francisco here.
I think it's going to be a great game, and whoever wins, it'll be a really fun Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited for the game. But thank you for watching the final football Pickin' with Greenwald for this year. Thank you, Katie, for joining me. And for the rest of the year, we're going to be switching it up to either MLB, NHL, NBA, or college basketball. So stay tuned for that. After a short break, we're going to go to Cole with coverage and review of the KU K-State Sunflower Showdown.
Yeah, I always just clap at the start.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now.
No humps. Nailed it.
I practiced this morning. Tomorrow was just two people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to do the end.
It's just.
I don't know the head.
That's great.
It's hard by yourself.
Welcome back from the break. I really don't know what happened. I'm speechless. At K-State on February 5th, an unranked team that no one thought could pull this mountain of an upset beat the team ranked 4th in the nation, the entire nation. I'm flabbergasted right now. K-State played amazing basketball. They were explosive the entire game, and especially late when it matters the most. They sank shot after shot, sinking several three-pointers in the first half. It felt like everything they put up was somehow perfectly falling in, but KU did have several points where they had the lead, but were unable to keep the Cats out of the ballgame, resulting in a crazy overtime Sunflower Showdown. Some of KU's best players, including KJ Adams and Hunter Dickinson, fouled out in the biggest moments and sat on the bench to watch the rest of the game from the side. Dickinson had another amazing game, however, besides fouling out. He scored 21 points and had 12 rebounds. Dickinson was named Big 12 Player of the Week, but was unable to bring another victory on the road. The K-State fans played a huge role in the team being able to pull off this upset, creating a very potent atmosphere from the beginning of the game until they sent KU home packing. K-State's explosiveness, with their leading scorer Tyler Perry leading the way with 26 points and Cam Carter going straight wild on the court with his 19 points and 11 rebounds, these two really made the game for the Cats, showing exactly what kind of team they are, winning their last 6 overtime games and becoming a pretty clutch team. KU's major problem this game was being unable to get their free throws in when it mattered the most, no matter how much I was begging on my hands and knees at my TV. This was a wild Sunflower Showdown, and hopefully KU can pull themselves back up from this, and we'll see if the Wildcats can keep their momentum going. I'm Cole Yancey, and this has been our Sunflower Showdown recap.
Wow, you can always count on an eventful Sunflower Showdown no matter how many years it's taken place. KU basketball has had many highs and lows this season. One low they have is their ability to play away games. With that, let's go over to Emily to see some of those struggles they have faced when they aren't playing at home.
Thanks, Isabel. Like you said, the Jayhawks are struggling at away games, but are finding their rhythm playing in Allen Fieldhouse for their Big 12 Conference season play. So far, the Jayhawks have won games over top teams such as Houston, TCU, Oklahoma, and against UConn in preseason play. These wins are victories for the Jayhawks for sure, but these matchups all have a common theme. they were all played at home. On the road, the Jayhawks have been struggling to pull off easy wins. The first main blow to the Jayhawks' winning record was a tough matchup against UCF. The game ended with the Hawks falling 60-65 to the Golden Knights. After a 2-game winning streak, the men faced off against unranked West Virginia and lost 85-91. Continuing the losses, KU lost against Iowa State in Ames with a score of 75-79, and in Manhattan for the Sunflower Showdown against K-State with a score of 70-75 in overtime. Many Jayhawk fans might wonder, why is this happening? To start, Allen Fieldhouse is an arena like no other. KU students have the tradition of camping out before games and showing up to early morning lotteries to hold their spots in line for the KU student section. Whoever pulls the lowest number gets the best student section spot. Of course, the traditional rock chalk chant and alma mater bring fans a sense of belonging, as well as the electric moments when students throw ripped newspapers into the air. To an away team, this can definitely feel intimidating and add to the playing energy of the Jayhawks. Some may believe that these factors definitely contribute to the Jayhawks' wins, but let's look at what contributes to their losses. In the UCF game, the Jayhawks had the biggest lead of 16 points in the game, but let the Knights sneak back in by causing 18 total turnovers. The Jayhawks shot 54.5% from the free throw line, while the Knights shot 77.8%. The Jayhawks also struggled points-wise, with starter DeJuan Harris only scoring 5 points and Elmarco Jackson scoring 0. After the intense Sunflower Showdown, Bill Self in post-game interviews said that the Jayhawks had an opportunity to keep the Wildcats at bay, but didn't do that well enough, according to 247sports.com. Self even claimed multiple times that the Hawks just didn't do well at all and lacked performance. The Jayhawks have many aspects to improve on in game-time play, including turnovers, making smart decisions, and free throws. The Jayhawks will have to learn how to bring their Allen Fieldhouse energy to other arenas as well, as March Madness is only a month away.
Thanks, Emily. Teams and their fans have to bring their A game when playing against Kansas, making it harder to play in away stadiums. The amount of court storms that happen at KU basketball away games are crazy to me. Everyone just wants to beat Kansas. After a short break, Sam will be back with our weekend weather forecast.
Missed the bus again?
Yeah.
You should download My Bus Lawrence. You can see when buses are arriving here, and you can also see where the buses are in Lawrence.
Wow, okay.
Download the My Bus Lawrence app today.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Sports, and it has been an absolutely wonderful last week here in Lawrence. The temperatures in the 60s for the past few days. And that is really going to continue today, as we're at 46 degrees right now and warming quickly. We had some overnight clouds that are now moving out of the area completely. Should have clear skies this afternoon. But then things will start to change for the weekend, as a cold front is approaching that will move through this afternoon that will knock our temperatures down a little bit. So looking at satellite view, there is just a whole bunch of moisture across the whole south here. A little bit of cloud cover here in Lawrence still, but that is moving out of the area quickly. And the cold front right now is located right there. Very close to us, but it is moving at a very slow pace, nearly stationary in fact. But later on this afternoon, that will move through. We're going to be close to 60 degrees for a high today, might get a little bit above that. And then this evening, after the cold front moves through, we'll be down into the low 50s before dropping off into the low 40s before midnight tonight. For tonight, we'll get down to freezing for a low tomorrow morning, and we will have those north winds at about 10 miles an hour all night, and that will really help to just pull all that cooler air down from the north, which will bring us down to highs in the 50s for tomorrow and Sunday, with those 2 days looking nearly identical. Moving on to the sports segment, Allen Fieldhouse will be rocking tomorrow. Not only will College Game Day be in town in the morning, but that will set the stage for a big-time top 15 matchup at 5 o'clock against the Baylor Bears. It'll be in the upper 40s before the game, and then moving on into the lower 40s at the final buzzer around 7 o'clock for that one. Now, if your parents are in the same tax bracket as Taylor Swift and are taking you to the Super Bowl, you're going to have the cool, dry desert air, as it'll be in around 55 degrees for kickoff. Then come the fourth quarter, it'll be around 49 at the end of the game, which I know Chiefs fans hope is not a sign of what's to come. The men's basketball team has their second game in 3 days Monday down in Lubbock as they take on the ranked Texas Tech team. It'll be cooler at that time, closer into the mid to low 40s for that one, for that 8 p.m. tip-off against the Red Raiders. And the softball team has a plethora of matches for over the next week down in Florida. And in typical Sunshine State fashion, it'll be in the low 70s with the chance of showers in Monday for their game in Tampa against USF. And for other sports going on over the next week, you have track and field down in Arkansas, women's tennis, and women's basketball in action here in Lawrence later on this week. It'll be cooler, but there should not be any rain affecting those events. Going on to the 7-day forecast, again today, we'll be around 51 degrees before tomorrow and Sunday are near identical. And then we will start to warm back up into the mid to upper 50s for late next week, including being right around 57 for what looks to be a lovely Valentine's Day. Over to you, Isabel.
Thanks for that weather update, Sam. I'll have to make sure to bring a coat with me this weekend. That is all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Good Morning KU Sports, and make sure to stick around for Playmakers at noon. We will see you next week at 10 a.m., and as always, rock chalk.